Okay, we're on, Yvonne.
Sounds good. All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today to our education committee. Thank you for spending this time with us. I'm really excited about today. I hope we can make it brief so everybody can enjoy the rest of the evening. It's beautiful outside. Our first presenter will be Joanna from the Peninsula. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. I just wanted to apologize first. I have a wrap around my head. I'm going through a home, what is it called? The sleep home study. So I have a lot of what do you call it? Wires around my head. So I wasn't in an accident. I didn't have a head surgery. So I have to stay with it for 2 days. So I'm sorry I don't look well presentable. So I am Joanna De Jesus. I'm the executive director of La Peninsula Community Organization. We're known for the Head Start program. For those that may or may not know, La Peninsula has been in existence for the last 65 years. The organization started when former President Johnson declared poverty, on war, and ensure that every year there will be funding in the legislative act to ensure that U.S. have funding for Head Start programs. So Head Start was designed for the most vulnerable families. And how do you define vulnerable? Those that are unemployed or living under the federal poverty lines. And so La Pen has been, running these programs for the past 50 years. And every year, it gets really challenging, because one, more early child programs are out there. There are more competitors going after very limited funding. So as the ED, been with La Pen for the past 2 years and a half, spending a lot of time behind the scene fundraising because La Pen doesn't have that history. And so I'm looking for, unrestricted dollars to help La Pen to grow and also to expand early child services more than, Hunts Point. We're currently in, Mount Haven. We're currently in Claremont South. So we currently have 4 sites. It's spread out. And as we all know, what we experienced with the pandemic, the needs are out there. And so La Pen applied for 2 additional sites under the last recent RFP with Department of Ed. We were interviewed, but we're just taking one day at a time to see if we're selected to expand into those 2 centers. So I unfortunately, because I usually Zoom share my presentations, but somehow I can't do this. I'm going to share the PowerPoint to Ralph, and he'll email it to all of you, letting you know that we're currently, enrolling 3 and 4-year-olds. We're entering an exciting year because this is going to be, I believe, historically, La Pen offered extended day. But I know for the past 5-7 years they haven't. So starting July 1st, we're going to open our doors at 7:30 in the morning and stay with the children until 5:30. So that's called extended day. So that's very attractive to a lot of families, especially if they want to return to school, you know, or return to work, and having these services available for them helps them. As a lot of us were working parents, so I appreciate my daughter's school staying open until 6 o'clock so I can hold a full-time job. So we're excited about this opportunity. But as we all know, we have to have children in our centers, and if we don't get children in our centers, then basically the need is not there. And as we all know, Hunts Point is known to be one of the poorest conditional districts, and it's very important that we keep our programs alive and strong because our family needs a program like us. And so under La Pen, we offer mental health services. We offer evidence-based curriculum, which is driven by a creative curriculum. We offer nutrition services. We offer free breakfast, lunch, and snacks. All the family members have their own family worker to work with them throughout the year to ensure that, they address their short-term and long-term goals. We work very well with a lot of local community-based organizations. So if there is a need for, wellness, I refer families to Urban Health Center. If there is a need for job readiness, I refer them to a local workforce center. So we work very closely with community-based organizations to ensure that our families receives all the services. So currently, like I mentioned earlier, we're enrolling. We're between in-person and remote. As we all know, we had the luxury of transitioning to remote this past year. But as you probably heard from the city, the goal is to transition to our offices. So we're still in the remote, but we're hoping that July 1st, we become 100% in person. So right now we're between in person and remote. We are heavily regulated by Department of Health and Department of Ed. So we have to ensure that we have the appropriate ratio with our children. So we're excited, and community board too has been an ongoing partner with La Peninsula. So we appreciate that. We have very, very good, individuals out there that continue to advocate for La Pen. La Pen has, like I said earlier, La Pen has a strong, rich history, very resilient organization, has gone through up and downs. And as we know, it's because of the funding. And usually it's very fierce. Everyone is going after the same funding. And so, my job as the secretary director is to make sure that I position La Pen to continue to grow and expand. So not only offering Head Start program, but also offering other comprehensive services. And what we have experienced this past year, what we know is that mental health is very important for our families. So I'm, right now working with different foundations to have some interest in my demonstration project so that all the centers have a licensed social worker and all the families work closely with a social worker, because we're finding a lot of our families are coming to us with desperate need, for help, for referrals, addressing their immediate health issues, from depression to substance abuse to ACS cases. It's been very overwhelming for the past year to witness what's happening with our families due to this pandemic. But we're very family oriented, and our families always comes first. So that's a quick presentation of La Peninsula. The program that we have, and when we are recruiting, like I stated, we're recruiting now. However, you must be 3, the children must be 3 in order to join our program. But if, let's say, they're turning 3 by December, they can join our program September. The rules are very strict by Department of Ed. We have to make sure that, they are age appropriate to join our program because of our, curriculum. Our curriculum are age appropriate based on the ages that we service.
Great.
Any questions for me?
Yvonne, I just want to let you know that Chairman Crespo just got on also. So,
All right.
I have a question if anyone doesn't. Joanna, can you give us an update on like what's happening at the La Peninsula, the housing development and your space there, and like what's going on with that, please?
Yeah, so what we know, we received, there was a communication, somehow we're not getting direct communication. The communication is going to Department of Ed. So every time there's some inquiry, they reach out to me. So the last communication I received from Department of Ed is that they're, I believe it's their designers, or could be their architects, would like to meet with us to design the space. What I understood from the space that we came into an agreement with the proposal, that there would be 10 classrooms allocated to La Pen. There would be classrooms, bathrooms, administrative offices. So it's going to become like a state-of-the-art facility. And we were very lucky to get awarded. So it was a blessing for us to continue into that facility. So what we know is they're at a phase where they want to work with us to design the space. And then once the space is designed, then the next step is they will do the construction. So at that's where I'm at right now with information.
That's really good to hear. That they're working with you guys and you have input on how the space should look.
Yeah.
So Great, thank you, Yvonne. Good, Yvonne. Thank you.
I don't have any
Is your
questions.
staff long-term?
Jesse?
Hold on a moment, Cedric.
Yeah.
You have to
Uh,
unmute yourself,
Is
Cedric,
the
please.
staff at the peninsula, have they been there for a long time, or are they, is there a big turnover?
Yeah. Oh no. I have to be in this field for over 25 years. I've learned that the Head Start field, you work with the same staff for over 20 years. So when I joined La Penn, I was impressed that, we had a lot of veterans working for Head Start from over 2025. We have few retirements already. There are some concerns, with the city regarding our pension that is turning off our employees. However, there is a history of staff being there. If they do leave, it's because salary wise, I don't know if you guys are aware, we are a union shop and our staff falls under DC 37. And historically, DC 37 employees are the greatest. A 2 years ago, we had a win with the city where there was a pay parity increase. So our teachers, certified teachers, received a huge increase, close to $10,000 to $15,000 increase compared close to Department of Ed teachers. So I know that the city is trying their best to increase the salary
Jesse?
of our DC 37 employees. That's what keeps them, right? That's what retains them, in an organization, pay them well. But we do. We may have like a good, or maybe 10. We have over 80 employees, and I was at the 80 and with employees for 20 years.
You
Uh-huh.
have it? You have it over there? It's here, and the video is here.
Yes, Miss Harris, how are we doing? We can hear you. I don't know if anyone else has questions, Yvonne. I don't know if Chairman Crespo does.
I was gonna ask if anybody else has any questions that they would like to ask. Um, Joanna, I do have a
Yvonne,
question.
the,
Yeah.
the only question I wanted to ask was answered already, which was that the peninsula is talking with them and that they did get re-awarded the contract.
Yeah, that was one thing that we were very happy and and stressed at the same time. We are in a landmark. There's a lot of new development, so there are a lot of CBOs that really want to take over La Penn, as we probably imagine. So it's very hard, that we're in that environment. At the same time, we have to speak about the good stuff that we're doing. We run quality programming and we provide very holistic, comprehensive services. So we're very different from other CBOs out there. So when we wrote the award, we made sure that it was very noted that we do go beyond than what the contract says. So and also the funding that we receive is never enough. So my job is to go out there and get more money so that our children, our families get the services. So we were very happy. I'm telling you, I was so stressed out with the RFP, and I just prayed, like, please, please pick us, pick us.
Well, just to let you know that I know the councilman was very instrumental in making sure La Peninsula advocated for you guys. And so was the board, made sure that we advocated on your behalf only because of the history that you have in the community and the success rate that you have. And so that was the main thrust. Believe it or not, that was one of the main thrust in accepting La Peninsula in Hunts Point. Accepting the project was that we wanted to make sure that the peninsula would be in the scope of the project. And they kept telling us, we don't know. And we told them, well, if you don't know, we don't know if we're going to accept this. And I know that the councilman was at City Hall making sure that happening. So I want to thank the councilman. I think I saw his name before on, but If he's not, I'm sure his staff is on, and making sure that I need for people to understand that this couldn't have happened without his help.
No, absolutely. And we definitely have to, do a special recognition because as we all know, City Council of Salamanca is the glue to a lot of our communities. And without him, I don't know where we would be today.
Well, congratulations getting re-awarded. That's all I can say.
Thank you. And then we're going to go through the stress again because as we all know, the RFP is up for another 2 years. So we're praying that once we get into the building, then we reapply again, continue to show that we're running high quality programming and that we're the right provider for that center. Also, I wanted to add that we're also going through a new strategic plan. The last time La Pen had one, it was a couple years ago. And again, the goal is to position La Pen for the future for sustainability. And as we, again, I shared earlier that the funding is getting worse out there for early childhood. And so we need to talk about how can we keep La Pen alive and continue to provide the necessary services to our vulnerable families. So we're about to embark in that. Our consultants will be reaching out to some of our stakeholders to get their input about the community, as well as, La Pen, what we're good at, what we need to improve. Also, I'm also recruiting board members. I'll send the profile to Ralph as well. And so if you know anyone that is interested in joining my board, that would be great. So it's always great to hire to, recruit within the community because we're from the community. We reflect the community. However, you don't have to live in the community to be on the board.
Let me ask, and I'm sorry, Yvonne, if I'm taking over, but I'm sorry. Just quick questions. Are you getting any funding from the state?
No. So the only funding that we receive is from Department of Ed, which we're considered to be a delegate. So the money comes from the federal and the money goes to Department of Ed. The issue with that is that us delegates, we suffer from that process because as a direct grantee, you get all the CARE Acts. If you guys heard about additional funding that's going into the city. And what happens is that if you're a direct grantee, you get it. As a delegate, it takes longer for us to get it. So there's a little bit of disservice behind that when you become a delegate. So my goal is the next round, when there's a new RFP, we're going to try our best to become a direct grantee.
All right. Ralph, maybe we and Yvonne and Cedric, maybe we can set up a meeting with La Peninsula together. I don't know. Who is the assembly member? Is it Septimo or Burgos?
No, Virgo.
Burgos. So
Mhm.
so maybe we could set up a meeting with Kenny, and who's the state senator there?
Are you sure it's Burgos?
I
I don't
believe so.
know. It's
Yeah, and this is
Assembly. I think that was because that fell under Carmen Arroyo. So that's Septimos.
You know what? Because Carmen Arroyo is on the borderline of 149. So
No. Our border is Lafayette Avenue. So east of Lafayette is Kenny Burgos, and then anything southwest
Okay.
is Sandra Septimo. So
Okay,
you guys
okay.
are covered. So technically, I'll double check that.
Okay.
But Bobby, to answer your question, they're coming on June's housing meeting to provide an update of where they at. So Joanna, I will encourage you to see if you can attend.
Okay.
The housing meeting in June is the first Wednesday because
Okay.
they're going to be presenting there. And if the chairman is present, I guarantee the chairman will ask him on your behalf. So
Oh, that's great. Just send me the details.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then if we can have a meeting about the state funding, that would be great. Just let me know. Definitely my headpiece will come off tomorrow. I've been dying to scratch my head so bad.
Well, just so like that, you don't scratch too much. Just let you know that you got friends on this side of the world, and
No, you guys are the greatest.
and we'll scratch along with you. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. If any questions, I'll pass on to Yvonne.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Cedric and Yvonne.
No, it's fine. Anybody has any questions or anything?
I don't.
Okay, great. Sorry, guys. I'm under the weather. Thank you so much, Joanna, for your presentation. Please, like Bobby and Ralph has said, count on us for anything that you need, any support you need for your centers. Both of my kids went through La Peninsula. One is now in 7th grade, and the other one's in 5th grade. So
Awesome.
We
hold
do
it.
have these flyers.
Flyer.
Joanna, I just want to put up these flyers that you provided for us.
Yes, that's
So
yes.
we
That's
have these, and if you want, we can also, when you send me the PowerPoint, I'll make sure that these flyers go out with it.
perfect. Thank you.
Sounds good. All right. The next thing on the agenda, breakfast for all the schools in the district. So like we've mentioned last month about doing a breakfast again with all the schools. I suggested to do it for the new year, for like September, October, just to give the schools a chance to kind of close off their school years and get whatever it is that they need to get, in order. I know that it's a lot right now with COVID and social distancing and the mask. Our schools are going through a lot. So I propose to do the breakfast for September, October. I reached out to Jill from HPAC to help put this together, but I also want to put some details together so that we could be able collectively as a committee to be able to discuss the details next month, so that when the education committee resumes in September, October, we have an idea and we're kind of ready to hit the ground running. So I would like for us to take some time in our next meeting, at least 15 to 20 minutes, to like go over details and ideas and any suggestions that folks would like to see for the next event. Is there any old business? No. Oh yes, Ralph. Um, do you think we could get also the representatives from the Department of Education to join our June meeting to, if they can give us some updates for summer going into next school year?
Absolutely. Well, we'll invite them, and we'll follow up, make sure that they're present for next month.
Sounds good. Any new business?
Yeah, that's actually a flyer.
Well,
Ralph, if
before
you
you,
scroll down.
wait a second, before you go any
It's like
further,
the
Ralph,
first page.
before you
Yeah,
go
I
any
put up-
further, Ralph,
It's up there.
Ralph, before we go any further, that for the June meeting, make sure if we can get that, what's her name, the lady, Ms. Gail something from the district? The one that was supposed to come over that didn't realize that we were having that many kids come in the next 4 years? And she said she needed to meet with us?
Yes, we'll follow up with her. She's from the district.
Right. I don't know what her name is. I keep forgetting her name. But if we can get her on in June, and if not in June, then maybe a special meeting in July, because I like to start working on this as soon as possible. Because as Peninsula starts getting filled, I don't want to be caught out there with no classroom space.
Okay, we'll reach out to her sometime this week and make them aware for June's meeting. And I'll follow up with Devontae also.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. Okay, so the new business, there's some flyers from the Peninsula. And this is the Community Education Council. They have a meeting tomorrow, actually at 6 p.m. for whoever can join. These flyers were sent out to everybody, right? So I guess they can be able to access the link.
No, we have them up and we provide them during the committee meetings. But if anyone is interested in just following up and receiving the flyers, just reach out to us. We'll make sure we'll get them to you. Cynthia does a really good job of, communicating with people and making sure that these flyers are available to everyone.
Oh yes, I know. Cynthia's the best. Woo! All right. Is there any announcements or anything?
Yeah, you're gonna have to give Cynthia a raise then.
No, just a congratulations to the 2021 graduates. Thank you. It's so hard. Congratulations.
Yeah. Anybody has Lynette, Richard, Cedric, Jesse?
I see we have Jennifer Mitchell on from the Hope program. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
CCRD
Hi,
on.
how are you? I was having trouble. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
We
Jennifer.
can-
Oh, good. I couldn't get on from my computer, so I'm on my phone now. But yeah, hi everybody. I'm Jennifer Mitchell from the Hope Program, and we are a workforce development organization located in Hunts Point at the corner of Garrison and Edgewater. And we actually have 7 new cohorts starting between May 24th and August 2nd. So if you know folks that are unemployed, looking for any types of jobs and need some training and some support, definitely send them our way. We have lots of good, robust programming starting really soon. And I will make sure if Ralph doesn't have them, that he has the flyers so we can distribute it to everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, we like sending your stuff out, Jen. So just send them to the office. We'll make
I
sure.
have it. I already sent it out. I actually sent it out today.
Perfect. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. You're the best, Cynthia.
Anybody else have anything to say or to add to this?
Well, we have someone that's on the chat. Miss Nick. I'm sorry, Cruz. Naki Cruz.
Naki.
Naki Cruz.
Yes.
She's from the Civilian Complaint Review Board, and she left her information on the chat. I don't know if she wants to like make an announcement, but Yvonne, I just wanted
Yeah.
to.
What?
Yeah, everyone, sorry about that.
It disappeared.
How do you pronounce your name? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Nakai?
Nakai Cruz. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I'm used to it. I'm used to it. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know that, I'm outreach coordinator from the Civilian Complaint Review Board. As I indicated in the chat, we're a city agency that investigates allegations of police misconduct. And, we're here at the education meeting because 1 in 6 complaints we receive deal with ages 10 to 24 years old. So we have our Youth Advisory Council as well. It's a group of 12 young New Yorkers who help us basically advise us as to how to reach out to the community better. So I'll be happy to follow up with anybody who wants to hear more about our services, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. I'll also be attending tomorrow's CEC District 8 meeting as well. So I'll see some of you there.
10? You said 10 years old? 10?
Yes, Cynthia. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
that's why we're always out and trying to be out in the school community as much as possible. Just letting folks know that this resource and this tool is available if in the unfortunate incident that they encounter that police misconduct.
Cynthia, do you know how many people for presentation for municipal services will be on next month? Do we
Yeah,
have
we
an
have a
idea?
lot. We have 2 co-namings, DOT and state DOT.
Oh, good. How long is your presentation?
I mean, a full presentation is like 40 minutes, but I can always augment it to 5 minutes. If I've done presentations in 4 minutes if necessary.
Possibly come to our Health and Human Services Committee.
Yeah, that could be it too. Okay, thank you, Ralph. Yes. To our
Health and Human
Services.
Services?
Yeah.
That's the first Tuesday, Mr. Cruz. That's the first Tuesday. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Okay.
Same time, 6 p.m. And you can make a presentation to our Human Services, Health and Human Services. I think that will go over well there.
Oh, okay, I would love to. So that's the first Tuesday in June.
Yeah, Cynthia, could you just leave us your contact info, and we'll send you a request for presentation form. Just fill it out. If you have a PowerPoint, just send it back.
Yes.
And think about 15 minutes or so. That'll be perfect.
That sounds great. I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Nakai. Anybody else has anything to add to say? No. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Joanna, thank you for your.
I do want to say one more thing. I'm sorry. I always like to. You have 7 committee members, and there's 6 present. So I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight with us. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I know the weather is nice. I hear the ice cream truck from my window. The sun is still out, so it looks great. But I just want to say thank you guys for joining us this evening. I hope you can enjoy the rest of your time out in the open. It's really nice. Thank you so much. I don't have anything more to say.
Motion.
Adjourn. All right. Is that it? Who seconded it? Richard, you seconded it? Someone seconded it.
That's it.
Second.
There it is. Good meeting. Thank you. Have a good night,
night,
everyone.
guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, people.